This is a news update on Enterprise Television, and I am Henry Igwebike. Now let's get to our news. The National Executive Committee, NEC, of the Labour Party has approved April 5th, 2025 for the party's gubernatorial primaries to elect its standard bearer for the forthcoming Anambra State governorship election. The party's national secretary Alhaji Umar Farouk Ibrahim said this in a statement in Abuja on Tuesday. According to him, the timetable and schedule of activities for the Anambra State 2025 gubernatorial primaries also indicate that the sale of expression and interest, also known as nomination forms, will commence on Monday, February 10, 2025, while the sale of delegates form will commence on March 20th. 2025. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) announced last year that Saturday, November 8, 2025, will be the date for the Anambra State governorship election. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu announced while speaking during the fourth regular consultative meeting with party leaders. He explained that Section 28(1) of the Electoral Act of 2022 requires the Commission to issue the notice for elections not later than 360 days before the date of the election, adding that this applies to general and of-cycle governorship elections. The Katsina State Elders Forum has demanded the immediate and unconditional release of Professor Usman Yusuf, former Executive Secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS). The forum's secretary Ali Sani Muhammad questioned President Bola Tinubu's government, asking if democracy is being undermined. Muhammad highlighted the discrepancy in the government's treatment of Yusuf, who is accused of awarding a negligible contract to his nephew, whereas President Tinubu's son, Sheyi, was awarded a contract for the Lagos-Calabar Highway without proper approval. On his part, Senator Mamman Abubakar Musa, the acting chairman of the forum, warned President Tinubu of the consequences of Professor Yusuf's continued detention, stating that it would not be palatable. And still on the news, the Federal Executive Council (FEC) has approved 1.334 trillion naira for the commencement of the Calabar and Akwa Ibom section of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. This was disclosed by the Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Omahi, after the Federal Executive Council meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Omahi said while the Section 1 and Section 2 of the Coastal Highway is ongoing in Lagos and Ogun State, the President has directed that work should begin on the Calabar and Akwa Ibom section. He stated that they do have the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Mr. President had graciously directed that while the Sections 1 and 2 are ongoing on within Lagos Section 1, Lagos and Section 2, a boundary of Ogun State, and another section should start in Calabar and Akwa Ibom State. The minister also went further to explain all the approval given by FEC, including the Ado-Ekiti and the Igede projects, totaling approximately 5.4 billion naira, adding the 6 projects valued at around 102 billion naira, including one in Egbeda in Lagos State and another along the Abuja-Lokoja corridor. Now to our foreign news. The U.S. President Donald J. Trump's tariff on imports from Canada and China are said to be expected to cost the U.S. households an average of $364 per year. This is according to calculations by RIA Novosti based on data from the U.S. Census Bureau. On Saturday, Trump signed executive orders imposing tariffs on goods from Canada, Mexico and China. A 25% tariff has been imposed on all goods from Canada except for energy resources, for which the rate will be 10%. A 10% tariff would also apply to China's goods in addition to those already in place. For Mexican goods, the 25% tariff was temporarily suspended for a month to allow for negotiations with the Mexican authorities. From December 2023 up until November of 2024, the U.S. imported $410.5 billion worth of goods from Canada, including $124.5 billion in energy products. Given the large share of fuel in these imports, U.S. importers will pay about $84 billion in tariffs. Meanwhile, imports from China totaled $435.5 billion last year, and companies will have to pay an additional of $43.6 billion in tariffs. If the cost increases from the tariff is fully passed on to consumers, products imported from Canada and China will become more expensive for 132.3 million American households. This would add about $964 to their annual cost, or an extra $374 per person. Mexico, which has been temporarily exempted from tariffs, remained the largest source of import to the U.S. with $503.2 billion worth of goods imported last year. In the event the two countries failed to reach an agreement, businesses could face nearly $126 billion in new duties, pushing the overall cost of the trade dispute for the United States household to $1.916. That's about the time we have. Thank you so very much for your time, but please do well to follow us. You can see us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.